What's up, everybody? Hope all is well. And that's Chris with that's Chris. Wait, hold on. Intro, redo. What's up, everybody? I hope all is well. This is Chris with That's Where Sports Podcast. And yes, Seattle Seahawks, your time to shine. This is the draft grades. Let's talk about it. So, as I always do on my channel, I break it down with the verses of what and what you actually did in the draft. So, for me, I have to say this and say this quietly. You needed another quarterback. Drew Lock was not that guy. Geno Smith kept getting hurt. Take a deep breath. Relax, Seattle. This is fine. It's okay. You actually are doing better than Broncos, believe it or not. So let's talk about it, right? Let's dive in. I think that you guys need, preferably for me, another receiver, another defensive back, offensive line. I don't think you need running back, even though you guys really did pretty well at running back these past two drafts. I think that you need a quarterback. So if we're going to talk about it, defensive back, receiver, offensive line, and corner. That's what I feel like you guys need. An honorable mention for defensive line. I don't think your D-line was horrible. I just think that the scheme wasn't all the way there. That's just me, Seattle. That's what I saw. You're more than welcome to correct the dude in the comments. But let's keep talking. Let's go through this draft first. First things first, you steal the pick that I wanted as a Texans fan. Byron Murphy II, probably one of the better defensive interior tackles in this draft. I like him a lot. Undersized? I don't think so. I think that he's actually really good. Great run stopper, great pass disruptor, time of the offense disruptor. Just pretty much in short, just give you an A+ for Byron Murphy because he fits the description in the scheme. Like I said, defensive line, what you really needed. There you go. Offensive line, offensive guard, you get the best center in the entire draft, Christian Hayes. And believe it or not, he can also play guard on both sides. So you really stole again. That's back-to-back. So obviously you're still in the A tier if you're following what I said earlier. Defensive line, well, honorable mention for defensive line, and offensive line is what you needed. Obviously, you got that in your first two picks. If I am in love with these picks because I really love Christian Hayes out of Connecticut. He was a dog, especially at the Senior Bowl. He embarrassed all these Power 5 guys straight in their face. All right. Next up is Tracy Knight out of the University of UTEP, El Paso. I really liked his tape, especially in the Navy game, Air Force game, and then, North Texas game. He really kind of just stuck out. It seemed to me that he was a player that was at a smaller school, but I will say this. Tyrone Wootley, the cornerback that you guys drafted a couple years ago, is actually a stud, and he came from a small school. And I think that it was due to the fact that, the NIL deals are really, really bringing in bank. So it's like you don't have to go to the Blue Bloods anymore and really have competition. So I think that's what really he did. So honestly, he shined on his tape. I think he can shine as well for you guys in your system in Seattle. Why not? I actually do like this pick, so thumbs up on that. A.J. Barrett out of Michigan. I think this dude is a slow tight end. I really like Will Dissly. I used to like Hollister. I remember him for you guys. I liked him too. But it is nor here, definitely, nor there. I don't think that he was an amazing pick. I think that you could have went to other tight ends like Eric All. Eric All seemed to be fitting your system a little bit better. Maybe he was off the board at the time, but I understand. I didn't think that tight end was an excruciating need. That's just my thought. But I understand. I see the vision. Defensive back. Oh, man. Nehemiah Pritchard out of Auburn. Yes. Hard hitter. In your face. Doesn't give a damn about who you are. And yes, I think that this is an exceptional pick. I love him for the simple fact that he is a Richard Sherman, just a little bit shorter, type, no locks. Or he might be growing locks. I don't know. By the time the season starts, ain't no telling what kind of haircut he's going to have. But he's that type of player. And that's what, Seattle, of course, was known for in the early 2010s, is that type of defense right there. Chancellor, Earl Thomas, and, of course, your boy, Richard Sherman. We loved watching that type of secondary. That shit was like Frank's Red Hot. It was on everything. These boys was dogs. So they're building back to that. I ain't mad at that at all. Obviously, offensive tackle again, Soda Lemire out of Utah. Another solid pick, I'm not going to lie. This is pretty good. So, thumbs up on that one, and I see where the vision is going. DJ James out of University of Auburn. Again, his teammate of Nehemiah Pritchard. This is really good. I actually think that it's good to get two teammates, believe it or not. But I don't think that DJ James is up there with Nehemiah. However, I will say this. And I say this with the most utmost respect. Usually, when you draft two players from the same type of defense scheme, and of course, pretty much just playing together, the chemistry's already there, obviously. But it sucks because deep down inside, that one's going to outshine the other, and because one's going to get more playing time than the other. That's just the nature of the job and the beast. So I can see the vision there, but I can also see the discrepancy in that as well. That might be the only thing that might be bad in this entire draft as I go down. And finally, Michael Jarrell. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know the name of this school. I don't know anything about this player. I'm just going to have to take the grade for it that says B+ and move on. And I'm going to actually call it a scratch on that and leave it as that. Now, where do I start with Seattle? I said draft a quarterback and a receiver. Why? Tyler Lockett is old. He's making podcasts now. DK Metcalf, he's still lifting cars, but he can't keep his cool in the middle of a game. Come on now. You needed another receiver, man. You needed that. You needed the juice. You needed juice, baby. You needed another guy. Now, at quarterback, I don't even want to get started on Locke. Y'all remember Locke? Y'all remember Locke, right? I remember watching Locke, and I wasn't even a fan. I just was like, damn. The 12th man, boy, y'all going through it up there. But with that being said, I understand that, it might not be a need. It might not be a need right now, but I was saying these things as two future later picks because Geno Smith did have an injury. I understand he's up in age. He's 33 now, possibly 34 when the season starts. These are things that I'm starting to look at, and I know it doesn't seem like it's of age and upcoming of time, but when you really sit down and think about it, you literally got Geno for a bridge. It wasn't like you extended, you know what I mean? Like you weren't getting Geno Smith as your guy at quarterback. He was just a dude that worked in your system, right? You got Zach Charbonnet and you got freaking K9 in the backfield. You got some dogs, man. So I mean, it's a good time. It's a tough division that you're in. I'm not going to lie. The NFC West is probably up there. NFC West and AFC North are probably the toughest divisions right now in football on paper. I could make an argument for the AFC South, but that's not why you're here. What I'm saying is you guys got San Fran and the Rams and Arizona where they seem to have gotten a little bit better. I know that on paper, we know this now on paper, but as when the season starts, we'll be able to tell who's real, who's fake. As of right now, Seattle, I really would have liked to see you guys go out and get a quarterback. That would have been nice. Jordan Travis, a Spencer Rattler, a Joe Milton type. That would have been fine. A Michael Pratt out of Tulane. Something like that would have fit you guys' system. But I'm not against what you guys are doing because you do have Locke. Maybe he could turn it around. And you've got Geno Smith, who's coming off an injury, a little bit of age, but he understands the system. It is what it is with that. And I know you guys got Sam Howell too. And that's kind of one of those things where I'm not in love with Sam Howell, but I understand why you got Sam Howell. And he is still young. He's got a lot of playing in him. But if that's your ceiling at quarterback, let's be real and let's be honest. And I don't mind if you attack me in the comments because I think that this draft is really good. Actually, I give this draft an A-, to be honest with you. Like I said, other than, of course, the tight end pick, I'm kind of in love with these guys. The quarterback and receiver thing, too, I'm going to add that in there as well. That gives it an A-. But outside of that, I mean, you really hit the home run on defensive line with Byron Murphy straight out the gate. I understand. I know it was a first-round pick, but you really hit the home run with him and Christian Hayes. So basically, your offense and defensive line just improved overnight. You didn't have to do too much. So I'm really with that. I like that a lot. But I will say this, Seattle, before you guys attack me in the comments, let me know how I did and tell me where I went wrong and where I went right. Also, have a good one. I've been to Seattle. It's a great place. Got some of the best salmon I've ever had in my life. And with that being said, peace.